you do take that breath. You feel that sense of peace start to come upon you. It's such a strange feeling. You can feel yourself smiling at the same time. Your head tilts back a little bit. And you can feel stress leaving your body. From your neck all the way down, you feel your shoulders relax, your spine releases the tension it was holding, and you feel your posture upright as all of a sudden you feel the urge to continue walking forward. And so you do, as you now all are able to hear the Sovereign in your minds. Welcome. We have much to share. I look forward to experiencing oneness with you. But first, you must experience yourselves through us. This may be difficult for you. It usually is. But know that what we do out of love. It's at that point you all start to feel this strange sense come over you. It's a bit like dizziness, but with the peace that you have, you're not afraid. You just feel your form start to shake, wobble. It feels like the outline of yourself is blurring as suddenly you starts to blur and your mind starts to fade outwards and backwards.
I instantly regret my decision.
I am so excited to become one with the Myconids.
Well, it's at this point that you each begin experiencing something very strange. Now, it's something that affects you all differently, but it's something that each of you can perceive. You're all able to perceive what happens to each other, and likewise what happens to yourself. It's a very strange thing that would shatter your consciousness if you were not perhaps in such a state of tranquility and relaxation. But instead, let's start with Double T Tanya. You find that your consciousness has drifted out of your form and you are instead floating, shapeless, in a misty black void. There is a pressure around you. It's crushing. You feel it moves from the top of your head down through your shoulders, squishing your clavicle. It eventually makes its way through you like squeezing a tube of toothpaste, and you find yourself crawling on all fours towards some sort of light. You emerge in what appears to be some sort of dungeon room. It appears hexagonal in shape, and it takes you a moment to sort of catch your bearing. The room appears gigantic. What do you do?
Can I investigate the room?
Absolutely. You look around, and what you noticed first and foremost is that this room is filled with mirrors. Notably, there seem to be 5 mirrors, and you notice that the area that you just crawled through, you must have just crawled through one of the mirrors. As you look around, you realize that each mirror seems to have something inside of it that you recognize. A figure. Well, not each mirror, but many of them. You take a look around, and you start to catch your bearing. You realize that these mirrors are only about 10 feet tall, which is, of course, very large for mirrors. However, it's not that they're so very big, it's that you're so very small. You realize the reason you're on all fours is because you're a baby? My God, you can barely control your own hands and feet, and you certainly can't speak. Not aloud, anyway. But you seem capable of thinking thoughts, which is good, for now. And you look around at the mirrors. Inside the first one, you see the Rat King. Inside the second one...
Really quickly.
What's that?
Am I dreaming?
You're not sure. It certainly feels real.
Okay, so it's not a magic spell that makes me dream, right?
It certainly didn't seem to be a spell.
Okay, cool. And this is happening. Well, no, I have a feat that I can't be affected by dream spells.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, then you're correct. This is certainly not a spell.
Okay, because if this is like a dream spell or like something like that, like I'm immune to magical spells and effects that like require me to dream.
That's fair, yeah. This is certainly not a dream. In fact, you're positive you've never dreamed anything this bizarre. It feels like it's really happening, and what's curious is that you can tell the rest of your party are seeing it or experiencing it with you as well. However, you don't see them. You can just feel their consciousness present with you. However, you don't seem able to communicate with them at the moment. How curious.
Okay.
You look
so I see the
around.
Rat King here.
Yes, you do see the Rat King in one mirror. In another mirror, you see Papa Stormbreaker. In the third mirror, you see this angel of the storm, what is clearly the god of thunder, the god of storms, the god of vengeance. And in the mirror behind you, you see two figures. They look humanoid in shape, however, they're so blurry. Their form seems to be silhouetted, and even as you try to focus your eyes, their faces are blurred and contorted beyond recognition. In the last mirror, there seems to be nothing. Just blackness. What do you do? Oh, one more thing I should add. Each individual in the mirrors seems to be beckoning to you individually, cooing as they would towards a baby. Come here, Double T, come here, Double T. Papa Stormbreaker, come here, Double T, over here. The Rat King, this is the right way, come here, Double T. I know you belong with me. And the god of thunder, the god of storms, Double T, this is your rightful place. Come, by my side. The only ones that don't seem to be beckoning are the strange silhouetted figures in the mirror that you just crawled out of.
Yeah, those are probably my parents that like gave me up and all that stuff, so screw them. This seems like it's people that are connected to me in some way. That's what it seems like to me. So, well, with me being a storm lord, like a storm god's daughter, of course I'm going to go over to the storm god because I'm this kid.
Yeah. You crawl over there, and it seems to take... God, it takes a long time, but you do get over there, and you see yourself now right in front of this mirror, this gigantic mirror, and you see him kneeling down in front of you. Double T, I can offer you purpose, vengeance on those who have wronged you. I can offer you power. Choose me, Double T. Choose my purpose.
What is your purpose?
I can offer you power to reshape this world. Execute your vengeance. I offer only that you bring the storm.
So your purpose is to bring the storm. Okay. Are other people gonna be like asking me to join them? These other things?
He doesn't respond to that, but they do seem actively to be trying to get you to come over to them.
Well,
He says to you,
hold
place your hand. What's that?
well, it's like, hold that thought. We're gonna go over to Papa Stormbreaker, see if what he has to offer.
Okay. All right, you crawl your way over there. Left foot, right foot. And you make your way there. Once
Cool.
you get in front of Papa Stormbreaker, he says, Double T, I offer you purpose and justice, the power to remake this world a better place, to uplift those who need it most, the path of the righteous, the path of the holy. You will reshape this world for the better. Choose me. Choose my purpose.
I don't know if I can, Papa Stormbreaker. Not as good as you are.
Touch your hand to the mirror, and I will give you what I can offer. It will shape who you are.
Let's go over to the Rat King.
Okay, you crawl your way over there, and once you finally make your way over to the Rat King, you see that excited grin grace his face. Ah, Double T. I knew you'd make the right choice. The purpose I offer you is prosperity and gain. You will gain so much knowledge, wealth, and all of it will be yours. Take my purpose. Serve yourself. Serve others if you wish. But be prosperous.
Yeah, no, I came over here to say screw you, Rat King, since I can't say it to you in person. But screw you. You gave me this stupid brand.
Indeed, and as I have marked you, I gave you access to so much more. I took you in when your parents abandoned you. I taught you how to be prosperous. I taught you the skills that made you worth something. And so I have marked you, so have I changed you. Choose me, Double T. Because you already know I have a proven track record. Touch the mirror. Accept prosperity for your own.
Yeah, that one's a hard no. I see how you get the prosperity, and it's at like a huge cost to yourself. So that's like a hard no. Let's turn over to the mirror where there's just those two people.
All right, you crawl your way back over there to the mirror that seems to have those two individuals silhouetted with the contorted and blurred faces. They seem to move their necks as though they would be looking down at you if they had faces. They stand silently and unmoving.
Yep, that's what I thought. They didn't care about me enough when I was a kid. Why would they care about me now? There's one more mirror, right?
There is one more mirror, and that one is entirely blank.
Let's go over to it. Maybe there's like something weird about that mirror.
Okay, you crawl your way over to that mirror, and as you look inside of it, you strain your eyes as best you can. It is pitch black. You don't even see a reflection of yourself, just nothing.
So that's the empty abyss that I could turn to. Awesome. Let's turn back over to the storm god. We're gonna place our hand on that mirror.
All right, you place
He
your...
doesn't want vengeance and to bring the storm.
Yeah. You place your hand on that mirror, and all of a sudden it alights with lightning that echoes throughout the mirror. There is a crash of thunderous energy directly in front of you, and all of a sudden there's a war axe, beautiful, magically enchanted, brimming with energy. And altogether, way too heavy for you to carry.
Strength check?
You try, but it fails. Your little baby arms certainly could not lift anything like this.
Oh, come on! This is BS! I want the vengeance! Give me the vengeance! Give me the power to wield this!
You say it out loud, and you only hear the others in the mirrors laugh at you. Well, not all of them. It's really just the Rat King.
Yeah. So everyone is like watching me, right? Like I can feel people watching me, right?
You can certainly feel them, yeah.
Guys, they said we're supposed to be one with everything and with each other. So, can you help me lift this great and powerful hammer so we can go wreak vengeance upon the world?
By the way, Scrumpulous just redeemed 100 channel points to say "Baby Vengeance" in all caps. Oh my gosh! And Crazy Cakes SD has just redeemed 1 bit to say "PogChamp." I love it. Yeah, you are the vengeance. Double T. You send out that message, but you can tell, you hear nothing from anyone else, and they certainly don't seem to be able to interact with you. They can only see what you do, what you're experiencing, what you choose.
Stupid mushroom juju.
What do you do?
See, this is why we shouldn't have trusted them. They give us our dreams and then take them away. Well, can I go over to Papa Stormbreaker's? Like, am I able to put my hand on his mirror or no, since I've already chosen?
Yeah, you crawl over to Papa Stormbreaker's mirror. You place your hand on top of the mirror, and all of a sudden there is a boom of radiant light that exudes from the mirror as all of a sudden a glorious set of double plate mail, thick, so thick that it could block even a ballista from piercing you even the slightest, finer than the craftsmanship of any dwarven kind you've seen, emblazoned with the holy symbols of the Church of Eternal Water, and altogether far too big for a baby.
Is the Warhammer still there?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good. We'll go see what the Rat King has to offer with his boon.
All right. You crawl over to the Rat King's mirror, and you place your hand on top of the Rat King's mirror. There is a strange purple light that exudes from the mirror. A mist flows from it, and then it coagulates onto the ground. It seems to be a bag filled with platinum pieces, platinum and gold. More money than you've ever seen in your entire life.
I turn to him and I'm like, what's a baby supposed to do with platinum pieces?
He laughs and says, "The same thing you can do with all of these."
Yeah. Well, we'll go to the mirror with the 2 people and put my hand on there, see if anything happens.
Okay. You put your hand on that mirror, and they disappear. The only thing that happens is their absence. The mirror then shatters and breaks onto the ground, leaving nothing but broken glass.
I carefully crawl around that.
Fair enough. You find yourself surrounded by these influences. That of your parents, that of the Storm God, that of Papa Stormbreaker, and that of the Rat King. You're surrounded by them. that there's...
Yeah, I'm surrounded by them, but I can't use them. Let's go over to the mirror that was like all dark in the abyss and put our hand on that, see what happens there.
All right. You put your hand on this mirror, and all of a sudden, the glass itself is gone. You find yourself falling through the mirror, terrified. You try to grab onto a ledge that simply isn't there. As you fall through the nothingness, you see those influences fading away, farther and farther upward and out of your sight as you fall deeper and deeper into nothing. You find yourself alone in the void, with nothing but yourself, finally separated from all of those influences. There is now only you. And with that, your group consciousness suddenly shifts. Wyndham, you find yourself back on the island. Specifically, you remember this night more than any other. It was the night when the elders in your druidic tribe spoke of the omen of doom that was coming to the island. It was the night that they all left you. And it plays out exactly like it did before. They abandon you, or rather, the city, and they leave. You've chosen to stay behind, except you notice that your friend is nowhere to be found. Curiously, you look around as you are now again alone on the island. The silence is your only companion until you hear very faintly off in the distance screaming and crying. What do you do?
Can I tell what direction the screaming and crying is coming from?
Yes, it seems to be coming from the direction of the city, which is very curious, but it's loud enough to carry all the way into the forest.
I'm gonna head towards it.
Okay. You make your way over there, and it's not too long of a trek. It's probably about an hour or so, but it's fine. You make your way, following the strange, crying, screaming sound. You make your way into the city, but you noticed first and foremost there seems to be no one in the shanty town outside of the city's outskirts. It's a ghost town. There's no one there. It's eerily quiet except for that screaming, crying sound. You follow it further, and you find it seems to be coming from a single shanty house. Inside, as you look around, you notice that it seems to be emanating from a single toddler, probably about 3, 4, old enough to walk, but certainly not old enough to prepare anything for themselves. They seem to be just on the ground, laying on their back, just crying and screaming and pounding its fists onto the ground. What do you do?
Walk up to the kid and try and calm it down first because it's screaming.
Yeah. Well, the second you walk up to it and you start, hey, it's okay. It's okay. You're not alone. I'm here for you. You don't have to keep crying. You don't have to keep screaming. It's okay. The toddler stops. It stops screaming. It stops crying for the most part. It seems to just look at you, incredibly happy, overjoyed that it's no longer alone. Upon closer inspection, you can tell that it's some kind of a... Oh my gosh! Wow. Okay, so Crazy Cakes SD just redeemed 1,000 power points for the to make a name generator for Toddler Tantrum Time. That is officially the name of this toddler now. Toddler Tantrum Time, or Triple T. Wow. Thank you, Crazy Cakes. I love it. Yeah, Toddler Tantrum Time Go. As that is now the name of it. Okay. I love it. Oh my god. Okay, so you see Toddler Tantrum Time on the ground. It seems to quell its tantrum for the moment. And it seems just so happy not to be alone. What happens next?
I'm going to start walking with the kid and try and find some food.
Okay. You look
It doesn't seem
around.
to have any parents.
Yeah, you can tell this kid has not eaten in probably a few days. It's kind of well, it's really sad. I mean, you're definitely not sure where everybody went, but you look around as you guys explore this ghost town. You don't seem to find anybody. However, as time goes on, hours pass. Toddler Tantrum Time begins again. Not the screaming yet, but the crying resumes. I'm hungry! Please! I'm hungry and I'm thirsty! I need food!
I'm trying to find you food. It's gonna be okay.
I want it now! I'm so hungry, please!
I'm gonna dig through my packs. I'm assuming that there's no rations in there, but I'm gonna try.
You don't find any rations. However, strangely, you find your good berries.
Alright, I'm gonna give the kid some good berries.
Okay, you take out a hand of good berries. You've got about 3 or 4. You know each good berry is a magical, substantial food that should be capable of feeding someone thoroughly and keeping them well nourished for a full 24 hours. He proceeds to eat one and immediately begins vomiting.
Oh. That's not good. Okay, can I do a medicine check? Because that's not normal.
Yeah, you don't even need to roll. As you look at the kid, I mean, obviously this is not working. You give him the berry and he throws it up immediately. It seems like he throws up that berry juice and also some blood.
Oh.
Very concerning. Once he's done throwing up, he begins crying, going into Toddler Tantrum Time times 3.
Oh god, it's just getting worse. I'm gonna reach down to grab the kid's arm to keep, pulling him to search for more food.
Okay. He keeps pace with you as you explore throughout the city. You look around and you still don't find anyone. It seems to be just you. You look in different houses and eventually you do come upon some food that seems to be left here and there through different shanty houses. You notice that one of the things that there is some vegetables of different kinds, some squashes, things like that. And then some raw meat and also some bread.
I'm going to put some of the vegetables on the bread and try to give him that.
Okay, nice. Yeah, you chop them up a little bit. You make them nice, good presentation. Yeah, you feel like you got this going. You give him the vegetables on the bread. He takes one bite and begins vomiting again.
Oh god.
At this point, he's screaming as he's crying. Just, I'm so hungry. Please, I'm so hungry. I just want food. Help me.
Alright, I've tried everything else. I'll give him the meat.
Okay.
I can't make fire either, so I'm just gonna give it to him.
Okay. You proceed to give him some of this raw meat. You see the second he takes a bite, he begins eating it. And it goes down well. As the blood drips down his chin, he consumes it bite after bite, and you can see nothing bad happens, but in fact, he begins growing. Rapidly growing.
Oh.
He grows to the age of about 8 now. You can tell he's significantly bigger. It seems to have made him significantly stronger, and the crying has stopped for the moment. It gives you a little bit of time to rest, and it's a curious thing that you've just witnessed. What do you do?
That's not. Let's see. Can I roll an insight to see if I can, like, I know anything about it?
I don't even need you to roll. You have no idea what's happening.
That's fair. All right. I'll try and find him some more meat before he starts screaming at me again. So I think he can throw me now.
He's definitely getting big. And you decide, yeah, it's time to start looking around. You do, and you start going around. Unfortunately, as you spend hours looking for more food, you're starting to get exhausted yourself. The day has worn on. It's probably been at least 8 hours that you've been looking, maybe 10. And you've searched the whole outskirts. There's nothing here. There's no more food. And it's at that time when the toddler tantrum time begins again. I'm hungry! I'm hungry! Please, I need food! Give me food!
Alright, well, this is not an ideal situation. So I've only checked the outskirts of the town so far, like the outer ring.
At the moment, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna reach over to the kid to like pull him with me into the inner ring.
Okay.
So we're gonna start looking for food in there.
Alright, you begin looking around in the inner ring for food. Of course, child grabs your hand and goes with you. You explore the inner ring. You're becoming pretty tired now. I mean, you've been searching, literally walking with a screaming, now 8-year-old, for hours with no respite. You search and you search and you search. Another 8 hours go by. And toddler tantrum time has definitely escalated. The sound is almost unbearable. But you keep searching. And you come up with nothing. It's at that point that the toddler tantrum time is at such a fury, such a fervor of sound. Please, I just need meat. I'm so hungry. I can't believe everyone left me. You're the only one who can help me. And then he suddenly turns to you, looking at your hand that you're holding him with. And he bites you. It's not just a playing around bite either. He bites deep. And the teeth pierce into your skin. You see a little bit of blood start dripping down his chin as he tries to tear off a piece of meat from you. And he does. He tears off a small piece of flesh from your finger. And you can see he starts chewing it and he swallows it. And the toddler tantrum time stops. He goes, yay! Yay! And he starts growing again. He seems to grow to about 10 now. What is your reaction to this?
I mean, I've been in just as strange situations.
I guess.
I'm gonna wave my other hand at him and be like, don't eat me. Eating people is rude. No, I'm not food. We're gonna find you food.
Okay,
Shit.
but I need food. You have to help me. You're the only one here.
I know, and I'm gonna help you. That's why I'm here. But we have to find food first.
Okay. And with that, he agrees. And you begin searching around further. Are you checking the inner ring now?
Yeah.
All right. You go to the inner ring. It's a place that's normally heavily guarded, but again, it's a ghost town. You search inside. You spend another 10 hours. It's at this point you are absolutely exhausted. You can barely keep yourself upright. And you've realized there is no food. Toddler tantrum time has begun again. I'm so hungry! You have to help me! You can't do nothing! I just need a little bit! I'm so hungry, I just need food!
Do I have my sickle with me?
You do.
Okay. I'm gonna use my sickle and cut off my left hand with it to give to the kid.
Damn. Okay. All right. You take out your sickle. You place it over your left hand. And you close your eyes. You grit your teeth. And with a violent jerking motion, you your own hand off. The blood begins spraying everywhere, but the child, the toddler tantrum time, ends immediately as he rushes over and begins eating the hand whole, finger by finger, ripping the flesh off of it and letting the juice drip down his throat. You can see he grows now to be about the size, to be about a teenager. You can tell he's somewhere between 13 and 15. And at this point, he rushes over to help you. He tourniquets, he wraps up your arm in order to stop the bleeding. Thank you.
That's appreciated.
Thank you. I can't thank you enough for this. You're the only reason I'm alive. Thank you.
Of course, but I can't do that very much. So we still need to keep looking for food.
Okay. Let's try the forest. Maybe we can hunt something.
Okay. I'm gonna use mending also on my little stump
Okay.
so that it stops bleeding at least.
Yeah, you know, together you guys get it so you're not bleeding anymore. And you go into, well, you start your journey back to the forest. It's another hour and a half back there from the inner city. And, oh my god, you are exhausted. But the journey's not over. You know, you've got to find some source of food, not only for toddler tantrum time, but also for yourself, as it's getting on the point where you haven't had anything to eat now for a while. You could have your good berries, of course, but that certainly wouldn't be food for the both of you. So you begin hunting. You begin tracking. And as a druid of the forest, the first thing that you notice is that there are no tracks. The forest is empty.
Shit.
You continue searching. As you do, it's at that time that toddler tantrum time begins again.
Oh no!
I'm hungry again. I need food. There's no one else to feed me. Please, I'm hungry.
Give him part of my forearm on the same arm.
Okay, you take your sickle and you try and just carve off a bit of your forearm. It's at this point he's willing to help you. He says, I can do it. I can do it if that helps.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. And he takes the sickle and he begins carving out a chunk of your bicep. The meat comes off in a clean lathe. You feel the pain radiating through you, but it doesn't seem to stop him. He rips off that piece of your forearm and devours it hungrily. And again, He grows, about to the age of a 20-year-old. He's big now. Bigger than you. It's amazing how big he's gotten. He says, "Thank you. I can't believe it. This is such a strange situation we're both in, but I think we're gonna make it. Here, let me help." And he begins casting some magic, some healing magic. It doesn't repair your tissue, but it does kind of seal it up. Wow, he's even got druidic magic too. He must have gotten it from you.
Interesting. That's a new side effect of cannibalism. Oh, man.
What do you do?
See if we can find a boat. Go get some fish, maybe?
Okay, excellent. So you make your way towards the coast. He follows, and you do find that there appears to be a boat. You get in it, and you sail out to sea. You look around. You begin fishing as best you can. You don't find any fish. You don't find anything in the sea. And it's at that point that toddler tantrum time begins again, but this time it's different. He looks at you. He says, "I think I understand now. I'm going to stay hungry, and you're the only one who can help me. Thank you. Thank you for helping me." He begins raising the sickle that you gave him. When you find yourself trapped on this boat, he begins stabbing it into you. Over and over again, he starts ripping off pieces of your flesh. Eventually, you pass out from the blood loss, and the last thing you see is it consuming you whole. It's at that point that our consciousness now shifts to Lothario.
Hi.
Hi. You find yourself in the inner ring of the city. It's a familiar place, but you don't really recognize the surrounding until you realize, this is a birthday party. How curious. And you feel sad. You look around and you realize it is kind of a curious birthday party. There don't seem to be many adults here, and you can't really find any of the children. It seems to just be the festivities with no one manning them. What do you do? Oh my gosh. Oh wow. Okay, so Crazy Cake SD just used the redeemed name generator for 1,000 points. You're killing it with these points. Oh my gosh. To make the name Flesh Eating Freak. You know what? I think that is a great name. Toddler Tantrum Time has now evolved into Flesh Eating Freak. That is definitely how we are referring to Windham's trip for the rest of this session and the campaign, is the Flesh Eating Freak. I love it. Thank you for those points, Crazy Cakes SD. Okay, so you find yourself at a birthday party, Lothario. What do you do?
I take the time to look at the surroundings. My birthday was never really celebrated, so I'm a little curious as to why I'm here exactly.
That's true. Yeah, you never really had happy birthdays. And as you look around, this does seem to be more of an adult's birthday party. There doesn't seem to be a bounce house. There doesn't seem to be anything like that. In fact, it seems to be rather dour. There seems to be a bar. There seems to be darts. There seems to be pool. But no one's playing them. And as you look around, you do come across, outside of the bar, where all of the festivities are arranged, you see a group of children. There's a crowd of them that appear circled around somebody. On the ground, perhaps? You're not sure. What do you do?
I go up to them. I'm curious as to what they're doing.
All right. You walk over there just to check out what's going on, and you're greeted with an interesting sight. What you realize is that all of the children are dressed as clowns, including the face makeup. And what they surround is a man on the ground who is very old, and he can't stop whimpering. What do you do?
Are the kids doing anything? Are they saying anything, or are they just surrounding him?
They stand there silently and motionless, although every couple minutes, now that you're taking the time to observe, every couple minutes they seem to unanimously take a little step closer to him. And then he cringes and he flinches and he whimpers. Seems to happen every couple minutes, but other than that, they don't say anything. They're not attacking him. They just get a little bit closer, and then a little bit closer, and then a little bit closer.
Okay, in my best voice, I say, "Children, this is not the way we treat our elders."
They don't seem to respond to you at all. However, the man on the ground does seem to look up, not directly at you, but looking around as though he's heard your voice, but he can't seem to make out exactly what you said or where it came from. What do you do?
I am going to grab one of the children by the shoulder, put my hand on top of their shoulder.
Okay, you put your hand on top of that child's shoulder. Nothing happens. The rest still seem to, every few minutes, inch a little bit closer. Even though you've got your hand on that one. You stop that one from moving, but it doesn't stop the rest.
Okay, I'm going to move that one to the side and see if, and I'm going to try and talk to the old man. Do you need help?
Okay, when you move that clown-dressed child to the side, you ask the man on the ground, "Do you need help?" All of a sudden he looks up as though his eyes are seeing you for the first time. They're old and glazed over. They've probably got cataracts, or perhaps he's unable to see at all. He says, yes, I do. I just need a little blood. I just need a little bit, and I won't ask for more. They won't leave me alone. You must understand. I have to get away from them.
Why do you need blood?
It's the only thing that's going to make them stop.
What are they doing to you?
I know they're going to take me. I know they're coming for me. It's inevitable. Can't you see it? I can't make them stop. There's nothing that can make them stop. Well, except for the blood. If I just had more. Just a little more. I promise. I won't ask for any more than what you give me. It will be enough.
What about your own blood?
I have so little left to give.
Okay. I suppose. Okay. So I guess I want to give him some of my blood.
Okay. So you take out a dagger and You can give yourself a little pinprick on the finger. It's not hard at all.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, you squeeze a couple drops of blood. He just holds out his hands. He doesn't even... He can't even see you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
And when they fall in his hands, he begins licking them off of his hands. And then all of a sudden, the clown children step away. Unanimously, all at once, they step back, far back away from him, and he begins changing. He changes into what is clearly the prime of his adulthood. He stands up. Ah, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I can't tell you how much it means to me what you've given me. I finally have enough blood now, enough to last. And it's at this moment that 3 individuals emerge from the bar. 2 of them you recognize. Your grandmother and grandfather. The third you've never met. She appears to be a woman in just resplendent regalia. It's a purple mixed with silver weave fabric. Her skin itself a dark purple, and her hair, in fact, stark white. They look at you. They look at the man, and they say, "Tharius, what have you done? It wasn't supposed to be like this. It's wrong. It's wrong. And it's all your fault!" And they point to you, and they begin running at you. What do?
I'm frozen in shock. Grandmother and grandfather, these aren't new words. I stay rooted to the spot.
That's fair. You stay frozen, finally seeing something familiar in what's happening. Those faces you recognize, those degrading words you certainly are familiar with, and as they begin running towards you, a curious thing happens. The woman whose skin was a dark purple, she shatters into 100 pieces. It looks like she breaks down into blocks of wood and hits the floor. Not more than several steps later, your grandfather and grandmother do the same, exploding into building materials that scatter the ground. The clown-dressed children rush over to the chunks of wood that were your family and that other strange individual, and they begin eating them. Nom 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 nom. It's that point when the man approaches you and says, "Thank you. You freed me. I am forever in your debt."
Who are you?
It's at that point when you can see that glaze clears from his eyes for the first time, apparently that transformation finally finishing. As he takes your hand, he's now able to see you clearly. His eyes widen. He says, I'm your father, Lothyriel.
My father?
And it's in that point when our consciousness shifts to Bojangles. Bojangles, you find yourself waking up in the early morning. You're on Gulnari proper somewhere, but you at the moment must have had a rough bender of a night, because you've woken up naked on the street. It looks like you're not alone. That's lucky. It seems you're sharing your sort of pig pen with someone else who's equally passed out. But you find yourself naked.
Oh boy. Yeah, who am I waking up next to?
You look over and it's definitely a stranger, no one you know. It appears that it's just someone else who passed out in the street next to you.
And I'm naked?
You are. They're not. They
Uh,
seem to be fully clothed, which is good for them, I guess.
how passed out are they?
You take a look at them, and that is straight up unconsciousness. In fact, if you must have woken up here from being on a drinking bender, they too must have also woken up or they must be passed out hard from being on a drinking bender. You don't recognize them, but you're sure that they are unconscious.
All right, I'm gonna just take their clothes. I'm not
Okay.
walking around naked.
You opt to steal their clothes, and so you do. That individual's passed out. They don't wake up at all. And so you strip them nude, and now you are the one with clothes. And you find it to be much more comfortable. Not only are you decent, but you're now protected from the elements. It's a good feeling. And so you kind of wake up, you shake it off, and you go about your day. What does that look like?
First I'm gonna go jump in the ocean to wash off, then find a good pub.
That's fair. Yeah, you jump on the ocean, you wash it off. They call that the saltwater bath, and you make your way towards the nearest pub. You find that you're...
That's all there is to do in Gulnari. Drink and drink and drink.
That's fair. You walk in the pub, and you can tell that it's a poppin' scene, as it usually is. And you go to order something, but you realize you don't have any money. In fact, all you have are the clothes that you've stolen, and they didn't seem to have anything in them. No weapons, no money, no nothing. You're broke. You don't even have your own weapons. You've got nothing but the clothes on your back, and even those aren't really yours.
Crap. All right. I guess I'll go look for a crowd of people or something to pickpocket some money from.
Okay. All right. You make your way out into the street. You seem to notice that there is some sort of a parade. It seems that the Gulnari Legion has returned. Now, as you look around, that's the perfect distraction. You start picking pockets, or trying to, but you realize something. It seems that in Gulnari, a fact you've had to learn the hard way, the only people who have any sort of real possessions are the people in the Legion. The rest of the civilians seem to have next to nothing, and that's what you find, is nothing.
Pricks. Okay, well, how do I join the Legion?
You think for a moment, and you remember, okay, in order to be eligible to join the Legion, you need a note of conscription. Now, that's something that you're not going to be able to come by easily. A note of conscription is only for those who have benefactors, as though they own land, or they're very wealthy, or they can certify that they've been in official martial training. They have some sort of skill that could benefit the Legion, like magic, or something like that. You're certainly not going to be able to drum one of those up in the short time before you'd starve to death.
Okay, is there someone that hands out these conscriptions, or a recruitment office or something I can go to? Or...
There is, yeah. You definitely know that there is a recruitment office, and though the conscription letters don't come from there, they come from individual families or training academies that can verify these things. People who have the conscription letters, they go to the recruitment center and turn them in order to join the Gulnari Legion. This is, in fact, the one thing you can do to get out of poverty in Gulnari proper, and so the line is around the corner. There's quite a few recruits with their letters ready, and they're just waiting.
All right, I must stake out the place and wait for one of these conscriptors to leave.
Yeah, well, as day turns into night, it seems the recruitment office closes, and those who are still lined up, unfortunately, are going to have to try again tomorrow. And so they start making their way home.
People with the letters that already have the conscription letters at home?
Yeah, they start making their way away because they were turned away, it seems, by the closing of the office at night. It seems that they're going to have to come back tomorrow and get in line again.
All right. Are any of them heading towards a pub or like a alley or a shady part of town or something?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, there's definitely a few that are heading towards a pub.
Oh, yeah, let's go there first.
All right, so you follow them to the pub. You make your way in, and you find them buying themselves a few drinks, a room for the night, that sort of thing. What do you do?
All right. Are any of them hanging out in like the bar part of it or?
Oh, yeah, there does seem to be one individual who's still hanging out at the bar. The rest are getting good night's sleep because they want to be first in line tomorrow at the recruiting center to make sure they can get their letters of conscription in. But this one guy seems to be having a drink, relaxing.
Easy pickings. All right. Let's head over to that guy.
All right, yeah, you make your way over to him. What happens next?
I'm just slapping on the back and be like, "Hey, friend, how's it going?"
Oh, well, hey there, buddy. What can I do you for?
Company of strangers and whatnot. Buy you a drink?
Well, you got it, Chief.
All right. I'm going to go over to the bartender and tell him, "Hey, drinks on him tonight. He just got into the Legion."
The barkeep goes, well, congratulations to him. I'll keep him flowing. Lucky man.
All right. So I'm going to head back with some drinks and be like, "Hey, drink up, friend."
Well, all right. Cheers. And he
Cheers.
clangs the mug against yours, and he bottoms it down.
I'm going to drink real sloppily and let most of it like fall down my chin and onto my shirt.
Nice. Okay. As you drink very sloppily, a majority of it doesn't make it into your mouth, and instead, he doesn't waste a drop. He tries to keep up with you round after round. It's certainly not a battle he's going to win with you cheating. And eventually, he gets too drunk to stand. All right.
Whoa, buddy. Let's get you to your room.
Yeah, time to go to sleep.
All right. Where are the rooms? Are they like upstairs or?
They are, yeah.
Okay. Well, as we, I guess I'll kind of lead him towards the room area until we're out of sight from people, and then I'll just pickpocket his letter.
Yeah, you don't even need to roll for that. It's such an easy task now that you've duped him this thoroughly. You take his conscription letter without even a fight.
Nice. All right, well, fuck him. I'm not even putting him in a room. Like, that's all I need.
Wow, okay, well, you drop him on the ground. And then what next?
I'm gonna go get in line at the recruitment office. Just camp out right there in line.
Oh, smart. All right, you camp out at the recruitment office, and when dawn comes tomorrow, you're first in line. They accept you as you walk in, and they ask you, all right, recruitment letter, or conscription letter.
There you go.
Thank you. They take it, they stamp it, they hand it off to someone else. Right. Report to Dock 4A. You'll be sailing out this morning.
Oh, you got it, Chief.
Welcome to the
When do I
Legion.
get paid?
When do you get paid? After your first successful mission. Off you go.
Okay. When do I get to eat?
Off with you. I'm not going to say it again.
Okay. It's cool. I guess I go to Dock 4A.
All right. You make your way down there, and no one stands in your way. You board the ship, and you're handed what is essentially a little badge. It states that you're a Roman, which is interesting.
Cool.
Yeah. You report to below decks and await your orders. It seems that you're one Roman among many. As you line the bottom of the ships with people who are also working the oars, It's only a few hours before this individual with a whip comes down. Now, it's not just a single whip. It is a cat of nine tails, covered in shards of glass and what appear to be broken bottles. Comes down, and he commands, "Right then, the lot of ye, start to rowing." And he slashes that whip. Whoosh!
Jeez, they don't fuck around here. Okay. Yes, master, sir.
All right, you begin rowing. The rest of them. Ho, heave ho, heave ho. And as you guys start making your way away from the docks, it continues like that. Day in and day out. The one thing that you notice is that the taskmaster is incredibly stern and severe. If you slow down for a moment, you're met with 3 lashes.
What the hell?
If you pass out, you are lashed until you wake up. Your shift lasts a full day, and then you are allowed to rest 6 hours. Until you're back to work.
Hey, what? I thought this was the easy life and you got money.
Do you say that to him?
Yeah, this is bullshit.
Ooh, you stand up amidst your fellow rowmen to the taskmaster. You thought. Welcome to the Legion, boy. You'll be doing no more thinking, and if you've got any mind about you, you'll do what you're told. Now, as an example, he snaps his fingers. Up front, on your knees.
Yeah, no.
He walks over to you, and he begins slashing at you with the cat of nine tails as he laughs. Crap. This is what happens when you say no to the Legion. You feel blood pouring from you, the pain causing you to recoil and hit the ground in agony, doing all you can in the fetal position to try and block these damn near lethal blows that strike over you again and again. What was that I heard?
I'm gonna just tell him no again. Fuck him.
He continues to beat you. One more time.
I'm gonna tell him no again.
He slashes at you until you pass out from pure blood loss. You awake God knows how long later in one of the ship's cabins. No one seems to be around you, but you feel like you're barely able to move. What do?
Oh, this is not cool. How beat up am I?
Oh, you're real bad. You gather that you must have been out for at least a week. They probably have some sort of healers that have healed you a modicum of to the point where you're not, like, at risk for dying just by moving, but there are gashes and scars all over your body.
Alright. Well, time to play along tide and get my revenge.
Oh, okay. So what do?
I guess I go back to my rowing station.
All right. You make your way back there, and when you do, of course, the taskmaster laughs. Welcome back! So, what's it gonna be? Are you ready to row?
I'm gonna say nothing and just start rowing.
He smiles and says, "Take heed, legionnaires." He walks around and begins idly slashing at random people to keep the rowing going. You work a full day until night comes. He takes off for his shift as well. What do?
So I worked a full day, so I got 6 hours, right?
You got 6 hours, yep.
Alright, I guess I go back to my sleeping area. Do we all share like a big sleeping area, or what's the quarters look like?
You can tell that you normally all share a big sleeping area. The area that you recovered in seemed to be for people who are sick, but now that you're no longer injured, or rather, they don't care, you're back to your group sleeping quarters,
He's there as well?
He is there, but he's just standing there. You can tell he doesn't sleep among you. He's got his own quarters, but it seems that he's just escorting this shift back to their sleeping quarters before he leaves.
Okay. Is there anything heavy on the way back that I could sneak to my bed? Like a rock? I guess not a rock, but like a piece of metal or a piece of wood or...
Sure, yeah, you can definitely pick up a piece of wood, for sure.
All right, I'm going to hide that in my coat or under my shirt or something and head to my bed.
You find that all you have is the shirt on your back and the pants that you had stolen from that fellow that was passed out next to you. And so you hide
I'm
that.
putting it down my pant leg then.
Okay, nice. You put it down your pant leg. As he escorts you all back to your sleeping quarters, he's now in the room with you. He says, "Right, to bed. You'll be at work soon enough."
All right, I'm going to keep my eye on him, but act like I pass out.
Right. And with that, he turns around and begins to leave the room.
I'm going to stealthily follow him out.
Oh, okay. Interesting. All right, well, he certainly was not expecting that, so you start following him out. The rest of the crew in the cabin seems to look at you, but they don't say anything. They certainly don't stop you. And you follow him out into the hallway. It seems to be just you and him now. And you've got...
take out that piece of wood and bash his fucking head in.
Okay, wow. Okay, yeah. You smash him in the back of the head. Crack! Ah! He falls to the ground. And you just keep beating him.
Yeah, keeping it up. I am not going to stop until I literally cannot lift my arms.
Yeah, it comes sooner than you'd think, but by the time the blood flows down from your head, his skull is nothing more than jelly on the ground. Oh God, you've just killed someone who was your commanding officer.
Yeah, well, better than getting whipped every day.
What do you do next?
I'll drop the piece of wood and go back to bed, I guess.
Okay. All right, you drop the piece of wood, you go back to bed. You are pretty caked in blood.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. I guess before going back to bed, I'll take off my shirt, wipe down the blood best I can, throw it overboard, then go to bed.
All right. Well, you do that, and you make your way back there. You can tell that the crew seems to know something happened. The people among your sleeping quarters, that is, the fellow Roman. And they see you, and they don't say anything, but you get this knowing feeling that they're aware that you just did something really fucked up. And with that, you drift off to sleep, unless you wanted to do anything.
I don't know what more I can do at this point. I'm just sick of getting my ass kicked.
Fair enough. And you get the feeling that they might feel the same way. So at that point, you drift off to sleep. The next morning, you wake up and it appears there's an all-hands meeting on deck. The taskmaster has been murdered, and someone needs to take his place. The first mate... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'm going to stand real sheepish in the back. Real sheepish.
The first mate asks for a volunteer, and the rest of the Roman part, leaving you. First mate says, "Congratulations, you've just been promoted. You're now our new taskmaster until you die or we find someone better."
Oh, okay.
He hands you the cat of nine tails and says, "It's your job to keep them rowing. I suggest you don't disappoint." "We're back on again, Captain. full power ahead.
Okay. I'll go down to where all the rowmen are.
Yeah, they follow you, looking at you very nervously, and they take their places. What do you do?
First thing I'm gonna do is throw the cat of nine tails out one of the rowing holes. Just
Oh,
throwing it away.
okay. You throw it out the window.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it is. They look at you, and they seem very confused, but super excited.
I'm then gonna sit down in one of the rowing places and start rowing with the guys.
Dang, okay. All right. You start rowing with them. You can tell they are invigorated by your leadership. They're incredibly excited as they row with you. You know what? They look up to you, and they work for you. They move so much faster, and it seems that the boat is sailing more efficiently than ever.
How many rowmen are there on the ship?
Oh, there's probably like 15.
Okay, so sorry, let me whip out a calculator real quick.
Okay.
So every hour and 35 minutes, one person gets a break.
Ooh.
And then switch it out. So everybody gets about an hour and 30 minutes off.
Nice. Okay. It seems this changed break schedule has very incredible impact on the morale and the efficiency of everybody. They're rowing at a significantly faster rate, and the ship is going faster than ever.
Nice.
After about a day of this, the next morning there is another all-hands meeting. You find the captain present standing aboard above the crew, and the first mate seems to be addressing both you and the Roman. Right, well, we've seen incredible boost in progress. Captain, under my leadership, the change in morale, the change in efficiency has been remarkable. I
What?
humbly accept responsibility for my choice my choice in Taskmaster.
Oh, hell no.
Do you say that out loud?
Yeah.
Okay. He turns to you violently with death in his eyes.
What the hell? Who's this guy think he is?
I am the first mate. Taskmaster, who do you think you are?
The guy that doesn't whip people, that actually gets things done.
You claim credit for my choices, then?
I claim credit for my actions, and you sat around doing nothing.
He snaps his fingers, and one of the Roman runs off in a direction. But he looks at you and says, "Don't move. Let me show you what happens to liars in the Legionnaire." That
I'm gonna take one step to the left when he tells me not to move.
Oh, you take one step to the left, and all of a sudden he snaps his fingers a second time. The Roman merge on you. They hold you
Hey,
down
guys.
to the ground.
Hey, what the hell? Guys.
And the individual comes back with a red, hot branding iron. He hands it to the first mate, and the first mate walks over to you. "Take heed, fellow legionnaires. This is what happens to liars and those who disobey
guys, what
orders."
the fuck? Why aren't you helping me?
They look at you with fear in their eyes. They know this would happen to any of them. "Present his wrist." They rip the shirt open on your wrist. The first mate, with a cruel smile, jams this branding iron onto your arm, and it sizzles deep into your skin.
Ow.
Yeah. You feel yourself almost pass out altogether, and it's everything you can do to stop from breaking into tears and screaming out in pain. After about 30 seconds, he lets up. Your body shakes and shivers from the raw shock as you fall to the floor. "Let this be a lesson. Take him away." and they pick you up, and they take you down to the crew quarters. What happens next?
Motherfucker gotta go.
Oh!
Like, fuck this. What? Not one of my homies stood up for me?
What do you do?
I guess I'll spend the next little bit trying to learn the first officer's schedule.
All right. You spend the time rowing as you must and keeping the boat efficient as possible. You can tell that the first mate continues to get accolades, premium rations where he's getting salted pork, and he doesn't have to do much at all because it seems the increased efficiency of the ship has reduced his workload by quite a lot. You find that what he seems to be doing is now he just oversees everything, and he looks around. He normally makes his rounds at night just to make sure that none of the crew are doing anything nonsensical or that they shouldn't be doing. It's at that time when he is alone.
Perfect. Is there like a length of rope I could grab somewhere?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's tons of rope.
Yeah, it's a boat, I figured. All right, I'm gonna grab a length of rope and like use it as a belt to sneak it off to where I need it.
All right, nice. Yeah, you put it around your waist. It's very inconspicuous.
All right. Then at night, I'm gonna tie that rope into a noose.
Ooh, okay. Well, you tie it into a noose, no problem.
All right. Well, let's sneak out onto the deck where he's doing his inspections at night.
Okay, you sneak your way up there. Again, it seems the crew, some of them might notice you leave, but they don't say anything as you make your way up.
Well, if they won't help me because they like me, I guess they won't stop me because they know I'll bash their brains in.
That's true. Yeah, you've certainly got a track record now. And you find the first mate on deck. He seems totally unaware. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Is there like a piece of wood or something?
I'm sure you could find a piece of wood if you wanted.
Or like something heavy to hit him over the head with and knock him out?
Sure, I mean, the heaviest thing you could probably find would be a cannonball.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. Pick that up.
Okay, yeah, you pick up this cannonball.
Okay, I'm gonna sneak up and then hit him over the head with it.
All right, you hit him on the back of the head with the cannonball. You can tell it's dazed him, but he's certainly not knocked out.
Okay, hit him again.
Okay, you hit him again, and now he's knocked out.
Nice. All right. Well, he is the first mate, so I can't just get rid of him like I did the quartermaster. I'm going to tie the rope to the cannonball and then the other end of the rope to his feet and then chuck him overboard.
Okay, you chuck him overboard and he sinks like a rock.
Goodbye.
Yeah, he's gone. What do you do
He would
next?
brand me. Spit over the deck. Spit up the water after him. Then I'm going to go back to bed.
All right. Well, you go back to bed, and the crew sees you come in and says nothing. The next morning, there's another all-hands meeting. The captain now speaks. Legionnaires, it seems that there has been a disappearance of my first mate. I will require the taskmaster to step up in his place. I would not do so under normal circumstances, having you just been branded so. But if you can continue the efficiency of our crew, I am willing to look past that. What say you?
I'll step up and grab a length of wood and say I'm happy to accept this accommodation, assuming nobody has anything to say about it. I'm gonna smack the wood against my palm a couple times.
You do, and nobody says a word.
Yeah, yeah. Let them fear.
And they
Screw
sure
them.
do.
Them screwballs held me down. Fuck them.
And with that, you get them back to rowing. And it seems that the captain is very excited that the efficiency has maintained. He seems to take you under his wing. He's not like the other ones. He's a good guy. And he seems so impressed by your acumen and your rapport with the crew. After a few days of this, he tells you he has a present for you.
Yeah, I don't like that. Okay. I'm a I'm a hide that a length of wood down my uh down my pant leg just in case he tries something.
Okay. All right, well, you feel yourself thoroughly armed as you've got this piece of wood with you. You make your way to the captain's quarters, and when you open it, you find it appears he's laid out a small feast for the two of you.
Well, this is awkward.
Come, sit. I have something for you. A present from the Legion. From me to you.
I'm gonna go sit down, I guess.
All right.
Not eating anything until he
Oh.
eats it first.
Oh, yeah, he digs in. And this is, I mean, you can tell this is where all the good food on the ship goes. Certainly no one that you've seen eats anything like this. There's like cooked turkey, there's vegetables.
What?
Vegetables! I mean, all of it. It's incredible. They've got mashed potatoes. He has real food. And it seems that he really is the one who gets to set the course, decide who's doing what tasks, who's going where. And as you're realizing this, thinking about it, he says, "These are for you, my first mate. A gift." He slams down 2 hand crossbows on the table. Take them.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to be sailing us into some dangerous waters, and we're going to be encountering some dangerous things. I want you to be prepared. There have been a lot of disappearances happening. Perhaps not more than normal, but you should be armed. I appreciate your efforts and your efficiency. I want to take you under my wing.
Okay. I thought you were gonna bring me here and punish me for something.
Why would you think that?
That's what every other officer on the ship has done.
Well, you must understand there's a different way of doing things here. And he gets up and he turns around looking at the globe. I know it may be difficult to comprehend, but it matters how you lead. Matters the choices you make. When you're in that position of leadership, you'll understand.
You know, this guy might be all right. This guy might be okay. Yeah. I guess let's eat together.
Yeah, you dig in. And it's a nice time. Days go by like this. He seems to be a great guy. Although you still have to sleep in quarters that are pretty small. The captain gets his own quarters. He does assign people to do things at his whim, and people have to do them. He does seem to be the only one with any sort of freedom on this ship, you find. What do you do?
I guess I'm gonna just learn everything I can from him until there's nothing more to learn.
You know, it takes about a month, but you feel like you've got it down. Considering the rowmen do most of the rowing and you understand how that works, you don't know how to chart a map, but you know how to read one. And you know how to set a course. You feel like you've got being a captain pretty much down.
Hmm. Okay, well. Shit, if I can be the captain, then what do we need this guy for?
Oh, shit. It's a good question.
Yeah, he gets to do what he wants. He's a lazy ass like the rest of them, even if he's nice. He's not doing anything. Except eating good food.
That's true.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go visit him in his quarters.
He welcomes you. He's, good to see you. What do you need, first mate?
Well, just checking up on you, Captain.
Oh, very good. He starts looking at the globe. Well, we're about to enter a stormy season.
Shoot him in the back.
Oh my god! You shoot him in the back. Both your crossbow bolts land true, piercing directly through him. He dies as his blood covers the globe that he was looking at.
Alright. I'm gonna take out the crossbow bolts, take his coat, take his hat.
It's true. You take his brown coat, his brown hat, and you feel yourself to be a captain now. It feels nice, and for a moment you feel the freedom, the agency, the power to command and also to do what you wish.
Nice. Alright, time to have an emergency meeting.
All right. You summon, you ring the bell for an all-hands meeting. But when you step out on deck, you're greeted with a very different sight than you were expecting. On the deck, you see the following. You see what appears to be a vagrant who's died from exposure, laying on the ground. Hanging from the crow's nest with a noose around his neck and a sign that says traitor, you recognize the individual that you stole the conscription letter from, hanging dead from the crow's nest. You also recognize, tied up by his feet, seemingly floating in midair as though still underwater, the drowned first mate. And on the floor, you notice a body twitching and squirming. That's head is so bashed in, it appears to be jelly. And lastly, you feel a cold hand on your shoulder as you turn around and see the dead captain holding on to you.
Push him off me. Like, no, get away from me. I literally just killed you.
You push him away, and he and the rest of the bodies continue to crawl towards you as they can, and you trip onto the deck. You look down, and you see, as you've braced yourself with your hands for the fall, you look at them and they're covered in blood. The floor of the deck is covered in blood. The ship itself seems to be made of bones, held together by nothing but meat and goo. They crawl towards you, moaning and screaming, gurgling where applicable. You are captain of the dead ship, king of the ashes. And it's at that point, when all of your consciousness merges back together, you find yourselves standing again before the Myconid sovereign.
I'm very uncomfortable.
I'm crying.
Well, I think that's a reasonable response. And I think that's a good place to end tonight's session. Well done, Power Gamer. You've safely made it to the end of the video. Congratulations. Thanks for hanging out with us, and a very special thank you to our supporters on Patreon. Thank you to our Patreon founders, whose incredible generosity humbles us. Thank you to the legends, guild members, and all of the official Power Gamers whose love and support makes this channel possible. If you like what you saw, let us know by leaving a like, comment, subscription, donation, sharing the video with your friends. Check out all the links below, and we'll see you Saturday on Twitch for the next Legends of Lyria.